Hello there, and this is a quick progress video on using calc to create a macro to create prosody contours. Right, I've got two of them. Random 10 does a range of -100 to +100, but random 11 is a development from that, which will do -50 to +80, because I found that the extremes seem to be a little bit too harsh, especially on the low end. So here we go. Boom. End tag downline. And what that's done is it's created 10 data points with random numbers in -50 to 80 and formatted it all so I'm in the right spot, and then do another, and I'll do 20 of these downline. I'm going to put them all in one macro in the end. I just have to press one button. Just pressing 3 buttons is too much here. And also it's yet another step where things can go wrong. So once I've done this for 20 of them, I'm going to talk about Prosody Contours. Right, I'm using RT Voice Pro, and I realised that Prosody Contours are the intonation. And I looked up stuff on the internet about trying to do it, and it all gets very postgraduate PhD level stuff, using AI. What have I done there? Done the end tag? Yep, downline. This is why you need one button rather than. I might try and do one button as we speak. Right, okay. So one of the problems was the quotes. They were always a problem. So it's basically doing this, and then I can export this out as a CSV, and then I can copy this and paste it into a text file, and then I can use these as not HTML markers, but it's very similar to HTML, but it's prosody markers, and they will give random things. And what I really like to do is make a graph. I don't know how I could do that unless I just copy set columns, because normally I would have all this data going downwards, but because this is just better, this is all ready to go, it's all written, so I can just copy and paste this. The only thing I need to do is replace start quote and end quote with proper quotes, because it didn't seem to like quotes. I ended up with a roadblock where it kept putting in the wrong kind of quote at the end. Where's the end? Read the end. There's the end quote. Should be there. Should start quote. Try random 11. Okay, I needed so the end tag 2, it puts 2 blocks of spaces, but it wipes out the deletes that. We could delete it all actually. Okay, so well, this shows you the diagnostic thing, so it's a good job I didn't rush to put them all into one. So this is fine, but the end tag 2 needs to change. So let's start again. Random 11. Tools, record macro, and I had to enable macros, which I'm a bit annoyed about. In I think it's options or options advanced or something. Enable macros. Is that right? Options. Enable macros. Yeah. You don't, because I'm really into macros, so not having it there, I was like, why haven't I got a record macro? Because it was. But anyway, so let's record the macro. Record macro. Okay, I have to focus a bit. So it's forward 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there, and then slash prosody. Got that wrong. I'm very into automation, but it's all about like that, and then stop recording. Call this end quote 3. End quote 3. So I'm going to save that. Now we need to go up to Tools, Customize, and I've got Customized Toolbar here. So I created a custom macros toolbar, and then macros here. This is the sort of thing I will forget, so this will be useful for anyone else. I did save it, didn't I? End tag, end quote 3. Oh dear. Okay. Add item. Move it up 1. Up. Down line. Get rid of end tag. So let's give this a whirl. Down a line. So it's random 11. End quote. All good. Looking good. And then down line. Right, let's do it from the top. Overwrite it. So random. End quote down line. Random. End quote down line. I'm getting a bit tired, so I'm not sure I'm going to. Well, I suppose I could take you through the process of copying the macro. Well, I'll show you the macro, put it that way. I'm not going to do any edit. I'm not even looking at what's going on in the screen. I'm just checking out these. So let's get rid of, just for the sake of it, 120 at a time because it's quite laborious. Delete rows. Sticking this stuff into the actual text. So it's all ready to go. I've just got to replace end quote and start quote. I could even just put quote in there. But anyway, that'll do for now. And tools, macros, edit macros, module. I really need to back this up because I don't have to write this again. Random 11, and you basically double click it to get. You can copy all of that and paste it, and then you just have to change the top bit of it, random 11 to random 12, and get you get it as you can have it as a new subroutine. Select all of that, copy, and then just change that to 12. Very nice. It's quite a nice little basic program. Actually reminds me back in the days when Visual Basic used to be good. Microsoft 97. Well, they started going to XML and just making everything incomprehensible. Can't help themselves. Right, okay, so let's close that. before I mess everything up. Okay, so we've made this thing. We saved this. I'll save as. Random 10. Called it random 10 because it's 10 data points. Yes. File save as is for the CSV. Change it to CSV. Okay, and save. And then UC text space is for that. I tried space with a string, but it won't do it. It just defaults. I don't want quotes. I could use quotes, but can we not just have space? I don't know. Just nothing. Space. I'm gonna try it. And that's done it. Although you couldn't tell. Then you open up this CSV file with Kate text editor. Oh, has it done it? Looks like it might have done. Got a space. Oh, we've got too many spaces now. That's what I get for using space. I'm not sure space is the right answer. The string delineation. It seems to work all right there. At the end, double spaces. It needs a bit of tidying up. So each one of these is something you can just copy and put in, and then use in a text document, and that'll pump through MaryTS, and anything you put in here will have this intonation going from 10% to 100%. It's 10 to 100%, and it's varying from minus 50 to plus 100, plus 80. So it knocks off the extremes on both ends, and you can change that in the macro. The question is all these spaces. I don't want. Well, what I can do is any YC, edit, replace, search, replace, and you replace Y space C with Y space C, and replace all. Tidied that bit up. Don't know if we need to worry about the first bit. Search, replace it with one data space. It's a string delimitation. I suppose if I do nothing for it, it might work. Just nothing. But it seemed to stick something in there, but we'll try that another time. There. We've got one less space in here. Right, so that's looking pretty good. The only thing is, oh yeah, the other thing we need to do is search, replace, plus minus, and replace any plus minus with a minus. So what I've had to do there is I had to put in a field of pluses because the code wants to see pluses. But obviously when there's a minus value, plus minus doesn't make any sense. Replace all. I did that up. And we've got double brackets with too many spaces. Search, replace. Again. I don't know, do we need one space? Space all. Oh, it is just one space. So it's two spaces. Yeah. Yeah. One. Eek. Is that one space or two? Looks like two to me. That's big. I mean, I could replace if it needs replacing it. Okay, I could just do Come on. Yeah. So I'm getting a bit tired. Replace all, and if I bring up the working code, it seemed to like. Right, let's just copy. We just switch between the two. So the starting that bit, search, replace. I don't know if this is really necessary. Let's just tidy it up. You're welcome to try without tidying it up. Replace all. So let's tidy that bit up, and then percentage comma, search, replace. And I'd really like to automate all this, but I tried to stick it through LibreOffice Writer, and it would be to try. Get that right. I don't add problems in. Right, replace all, and then plus space. Plus, tidying everything up. Percentage bracket. Pretty dangerous considering how tired I am. Replace that with thing but without any spaces in it. I'm actually quite excited to see how these will sound. And it's basically what we've done here is procedurally generated brackets, search, just a bracket. Looking good. Checking everything. Let's check it with the working one. Quotes we've got to put in. They do have extra spaces, so I've been a little bit too keen. So let's search, replace, keyboardally challenged, paste, replace all. Start quote, search, replace that with a proper quote. I had real problems getting quotes to work. It was a nightmare. I thought I'd just broken everything with it. Replace all, and then search. Go. We've now created 20 random 10-point Prosody contours. And what I hope to do is figure out a way to do this into a chart form so you can actually see what it looks like. But to be honest, just getting this far was enough for me. Save it. Save current file. Save. And here's one I prepared earlier. This was using -100 to 100. So if I hit play, it's going to do all these contours. Basically, I copied them, and you put the text in between the tags. Hopefully it'll become obvious.
Hello and welcome to a demonstration of Mary TTS in action. Using RT Voice Pro in Unity. Running on Linux Mint Cinnamon 20. This is my work in progress video for August 2020. In the end I used SpeechKit to generate the audio file and speak. Remember the tick boxes. Running on Linux Mint Cinnamon. At the end of the video I will go through what I have done so far to get this to work. A quick summary is adding a scroll bar and text area. Adding file import support to SpeechKit. It could possibly be extended to deal with multiple text files. I should really only have one reference to the demo text file rather than two. I realized that the Prosody Contour is the key to making text-to-speech sound much better. The Microsoft Azure Audio Creation Platform and Speech Studio offers this. However, I am looking for a FOSS or one-off payment alternative. I am trying to create a decent TTS voice for use with Twitch and Linux. This could also be extended and used as a solution for TTS file reading. How to procedurally create different voice contours. I believe this TTS technology has huge potential for Twitch, games, and reading texts in Linux and cross-platform, as well as applications for the partially sighted and blind. I would like a better intonation model contour rather than just rising, but I am not sure what the rules of intonation are. I will try varying the prosody contours. 40, 60, 80, 60, 20. Seems pretty cool, so next steps are 1. To figure out a way to use Unity to generate this output into an audio file, and how to create interesting prosody contours. 2. To figure out better string and text manipulation, such as putting the text on screen. 3. To provide better visual feedback on what is going on, such as highlighting the red text on screen. 4. To allow users to put in their own text file and own server settings, using a config screen. 5. Better Twitch and ERC integration. I guess one key question is, what do the first and second numbers stand for in the prosody contour? I am talking with rising intonation. I am talking with falling intonation. Good morning. I believe the first number is the percentage of sentence spoken. I believe the second number is the prosody /pitch variance, positive or minus. What is the maximum number of data points for the prosody contour profile? Is it 5 or 100? Anyway, now it's time to go back to the studio and explain what I did to get this far. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening to this part.
Okay, so well, what I noticed there is I actually really liked the video bit, the 100% pop on video. I'll play it again, but only to the video bit. I'm going to think a lot. This is running.
Hello and welcome to a demonstration of Mary TTS in action. Using RT Voice Pro in Unity. Running on Linux Mint Cinnamon 20. This is my work in progress video for August 2020.
No, I didn't really mean to.
In the end.
Okay, well, the video bit pops at 50%, 100%, so cutting down the top end wasn't a good idea. I don't even know if I can go higher than 100%, but I'm not going to try. I'm too scared. But yeah, so I need to change my macro. Go back to macro and tools, macros, edit macros. I'm gonna make sure I don't mess this up. Maybe I'll leave that one alone because I really don't want to mess up. So let's copy all of this. I'll try and paste this in paste bin somewhere with the video. End sub. Right, copy. An operation this is. Right, end sub. Go to the end. Paste it all again. Now we need to go back. Shooting fast too much. Well, we can read the arguments. They're the countdown. Sub tag. End tag prosody. They're not going to be big. End quotes. Oh, come on. Stop. I suppose we could just search for tools, edit, find, and sub. No. Oh, where am I? No. Right, okay, well that worked. Random 12. Okay. Now pops up. So now appended random 12. Ooh, excuse me, my brain is slowing down now. So double click that. Oh, what? Double. Have I selected? I've copied all the other bits there, so all that stuff has to go. Random 12, and we're looking for it is the was around between. I'll do that. Edit, find and replace. Copy that, paste it here. Change the values to 100 because I quite like the 100. I'm tempted to try 110, but I don't know if it will let me. I quite like the high end. Here we go, 110. This may cause errors and then I'll have to change it all, but I'm pushing the boundaries here. Because 100% I know works. So we're going from -50. I don't want to go much lower than that because the low end, I don't know what it's like on more advanced voice models, but on this voice model, which is the one I'm using, low end isn't very good. High end is quite nice. Okay, so replace. Oh, and again, we don't want to replace all because there's all sorts of other things. So we've got to just do replace, replace. Make sure it's going up. So go to random 12, and then we're going to find next. Search last. So we went to the top of the thingy and it looks like I hit the right one. Okay, and we close that. So we've now created a range between -50 to 110. That's in random 12. We close that, save it, close it. Right. Add another tools, macros, no, customize. Macros. And we may find that I want to actually do 120. Well, let me add that custom macro. Yeah. Okay. Right, so make a new one. File, new spreadsheet. Right, let's try this. Random 12. And a good point to this is I don't have to think of numbers, it's just random numbers, and we're going to find by trial and error, brute force rather than procedure, rather than using AI, which is what a lot of the PhD things seem to be doing. Is we're just going to use our ear. Whatever sounds lovely, we're going to. Whoa. No. One, I think I failed. Yeah, I failed that because I was quick. Go back 1. 12. End quote. Got to be careful not to interrupt it in the middle. Yeah, so I'm quite excited to see how this will sound actually, or whether or not the over 100 will break. We'll test that in fact by we've done that first actually, but I can always change this. I'll just change if 110 breaks prosody model, then I will just, so we'll save that. I will just edit that macro. Save as ETS 7. Right, we've got 7. What am I doing? Oh yeah, so I've saved it. I'm not going to save it as CSV and do all the editing yet. What I'm going to do is go back to my test ETS, which I'm using each text. Demo text 4. So we double click text 4. Hello and welcome. So let's hello and well, we're going to do it, and yeah, that's not really a very detailed one. I suppose we're here. This is my work in progress video. We got video done properly. In the end, I use speech chat. Instead of plus, let's do 125. See what happens there. And save. We'll see if that breaks. It'll close. Play.
Hello and welcome to a demonstration of MaryTTS in action. Using RT Voice Pro in Unity. Running on Linux Mint Cinnamon 20. This is my work in progress video for August 2020. In the end I used SpeechCut to generate the audio file and speak. Remember the tick boxes. Running on Linux Mint Cinnamon.
I'm not going to go through it all. Let's just try. This is my work in progress, which was the bit that was really low and quite unpleasant. This is my work. So hopefully, maybe it just ignores anything that's higher. Save that. That should be squeaky or just give up. It'll be one of the two. Maybe 100% is all it allows. We will find out in a minute.
Hello and welcome to a demonstration of MaryTTS in action. Using RT Voice Pro in Unity. Running on Linux Mint Cinnamon 20. This is my work in progress
Ooh.
video for August 2020. In the end, I used SpeechKit to generate the.
So it does work. That's very cool. And it did seem a little bit too loud. So I think I might have been a little bit too nervous with 110. I might change it to, we go back here, be a bit braver here. If I go to Tools, Macros, Edit Macro, it's a bit clunky. I'd like to be able to do this with just setting a variable somewhere rather than all this search and replace. If I double click that, find my random between, edit, replace, find and replace, copy, paste, 120. I'm pushing it there. I think, yeah, that'll do. And we're going to replace all of them with them because that -50 took. Careful. Did you see what I nearly did there? Find that, replace with extra bits. So I've got to be careful there. Okay. So I'm just making sure that it's whatever that's on the top line is the same. There's no extra formatting. And all I've done is up to another 10. So replace all. You can do that 6 times. Could be 10 times. A bit worrying. Okay. Tools. Place. Copy. Alright, it just adds that for me. That's very helpful of you. Thank you for that. Okay, my next. Okay, why is it only 20? My brain fails to compute why it's only 6 times. I haven't 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. Yeah, I've done it in tens. Right, okay, this is 7, so let's do a new one. File, new sheet. Ready. So hopefully, end quote, downline. Downline. We should be seeing, at the end of the day, it's not going to be a lot of them. Oh yeah, I keep looking at that and thinking it's not doing it, but that's a different. We've done the end quote, and this is the trouble of having multi-stage batch files, is you forget which bit you're on, especially when you're tired. And at the end of the day, this is only really meant as a guideline and as a prompt to the human listener. I mean, obviously, it would be nice to have this all done in real time and predict what your voice is going to sound like. I mean, a lot of the time, the standard output is pretty decent. This just adds a whole level of quality. I know the you may be thinking that my text to speech is a bit robotic, and it is, but it is free. You know, it's free for use. So yeah, we're getting some very nice. So I mean, we could do a little graph of them, but I don't think that's going to tell us anything. That's just the 10% range. So the 10% would be the start of the sentence, and so we could start low or we could start high, and really we need to whack 110, 120 on any word that we want to emphasize. But I'm very excited to see how this will, how the random ones will work in the text file. But I think that's enough for now. We need to save this. I'll save as 08, and then next save it as a CSV, save as CSV, save text, and then we're going to get rid of everything for string delimitation, but I think it just sticks something in anyway. Okay, and field delimiter, I wonder if we could get rid of everything for that, but I think we need something for that. Folder, we look for NA8 CSV, standard text. Well, the space worked fine, the nothing worked fine, so that's a few steps less to do. I mean, if I close that, go back to here, I'll save as. We may be lucky enough. Save. No, you see, it's not going to give me the option to change my delineation. So if I do that and do B, 8A8 B, hit filter settings. That might be it. Save. Oh, come on. That works. Yeah, good. Filter settings. So nothing and nothing. Okay. I think they just wax in quotes if I'm not lucky. CSV. And with text editor. That looks quite good. That does look quite good. Yeah, I think that's worked. Well, that's groovy. So again, then all we've got to do is replace that plus minus with minus, end quotes, quotes, start quotes with quotes. Could be relatively in business. We might need to replace that with spaces, the space between them, parentheses, and possibly place plus minus with a space minus, so it's got a little space there to fit the standard formatting. Should we do it, or should I end the video? Place plus minus with space minus, place all. The other one we need to do search. Ready? Place all. comma plus search comma plus with slightly better start quote quotes. Oh. Right, that's all ready to go. Save that. And that's all ready to go for interesting things, interesting voice profiles. Close. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I'm going to go to sleep. Okay, see you another time.